who lives in you. Let me read that again. Pay close attention. It says, and if the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit who lives in you. The very power that raised Christ from the dead is now living and moving inside of us. The Spirit of God continues to this day to hover above the face of the waters, the face of the sin and chaos that so easily consumes our lives. And he's just waiting to usher in resurrection to our mortal bodies and make us into a new creation. Wow. And this idea of new creation is a major theme in most of Paul's writings. I listed several passages right here, and that's just flipping through and looking for the theme of life out of death, of resurrection, of new creation for us. Those are just a few of the passages. And we don't have time to read and discuss every one of them, or we'd be here through next week. And I don't want to keep you that long. We have to get home. But the theme of new creation doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop in Paul's letters. It doesn't stop with us right here and now, even 2,000 years later. This theme of new creation reaches its climax at the very end of the Bible, where we turn again to John, the apostle, the gospel writer, and the revelator. At the end of Revelation, after all the sights and visions, after all the war and strife and judgment, John sees what everything is leading up to. He sees firsthand the fulfillment of this new creation. If you turn towards the end of Revelation, chapter 21, beginning in verse 1, he says, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. The sea here, same word for the waters of chaos that the Spirit was hovering above. And there was no longer any sea. And I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. And he who is seated on the throne says, I am making everything new. Then he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. He said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To him who is thirsty I will give to drink without cost from the spring of the water of life. And he who overcomes will inherit all of this. And I will be his God, and he will be my son. John paints us a picture of what this new creation looks like. Everything is redeemed. There's a new heaven and a new earth. And God is making all things new. Everything around us is restored to its original goodness that we saw back in Genesis. There's no more crying or pain or death. And everyone and everything is made pure, whole, and innocent again. This is new birth. This is a fresh start. This is redemption. This is resurrection. This is light out of darkness, peace out of chaos, and life out of death. This is new creation. And God is inviting us to be part of it. Creation is redeemed. So how about you? Do you feel like your life is formless? Like you're just drifting with the latest current? wind blown and wave tossed is no good way of living your life? Do you feel yourself being driven here and there, not really ever knowing where your life is going or what your life is meant to be? Or maybe you feel a void, an emptiness in your life. You feel like your life has no meaning, no purpose, and there's something missing, but you just don't know what. How about those of you who live in darkness, always hiding from the light for fear of what it might reveal? You're blindly trying to make it through whatever it is you're facing. And then there are those of us who just feel in over their heads. They're too deeply entrenched in their sin or addiction, and they just can't tell which way is up. If this is you, then what you need is resurrection. God's Spirit is still hovering above you in your darkest places, just waiting to say the word and fill your life with light. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the grave is ready to bring new creation in you. And if you need to experience the power of resurrection, redemption, and new creation, please come while we stand and sing.